Hello, hello. My name is Rebel Black, and this is the two-page strategy training. So, hopefully, you've got your template for this. If you haven't, I highly recommend that you do. Much better to have the template so that you can work as we go through this. Now, this is an iterative document. What that means is you're going to come back to it again and again. I have documents for this for all of my businesses, and one for my whole life, which includes my businesses. And I look at them every quarter, at least every quarter, if not in between, if I've got myself off track or where I'm needing to make decisions about what we're going to do next. I always come back to these documents and I'm always tweaking and adjusting them as I go. They are meant to be used. That's why we keep it to 2 pages so that it doesn't feel overwhelming and daunting like a 60-page business plan might. We want this to be at a glance. You could even print it out and have it up on your wall in an office or on the back of the bathroom door or wherever you want it so that it becomes something that you're interacting with on a regular basis. So, we're going to go through the template really just step by step and so that you can take action on it. You will be able to edit it. I do also have this as a Google Sheet. If you want it, let me know. Send me an email, hello@rebelblack.com. And it is customizable. So, of course, put your branding on it, your colors, your logos, make it look and feel yours, make it beautiful, something that you want to interact with. So, business name and planning years. This is really simple. So, this is your business name and what year or years it is that you're planning for. Now, I recommend usually between 2 and 3 years. Some of my clients do it up to 5. I find that in 5 years, things have changed so quickly that it becomes redundant and you're having to update it regularly, or you lose flow of it, or you just aren't really engaged with it. So I prefer sort of 2 to 3 year time frame, but it is entirely up to you. Next, we have the vision and the mission. And these are very specific. You may already have your vision and your mission mapped out. If you do, that's amazing. You'll just copy and paste them in there. If you don't, then I'm going to do a separate training on what vision and mission actually is in more detail. But essentially at a high level, your vision is your directionality, where you're headed to, the big, audacious goal. That you've changed the world in some way, shape, or form, that by this period of time, these things have happened, feeding the world, healing the world, that sort of stuff, the big stuff, really, really big. Want to be one sentence, no more than one sentence. Your mission maybe is a couple of sentences and it identifies the way you're going to get to the vision. It's more of the why and the how kind of built into the mission, and is more likely to just be a little bit deeper. Both are really, really important, and both, again, are iterative. So if you need more training on that, check out or send me an email if you can't find the training on vision and mission. Next thing, we come to the ambition. Now, ambition is, so vision and mission are both big picture. They are the guiding principles, if you like, of our strategy. Probably extend and expand beyond the 2 years and the 3 years, or the 2 or 3 years that you might be developing this plan for. So the ambition is more related to the time frame and is more related to then the work that we're going to pull out on the strategic pillars. It sits at the center that brings together the high level vision mission and the on the ground activity, which is the strategic pillars and the strategies. Ambition sits in the middle of those two things. It's like the glue that holds them together. So the ambition relates more to the time frame of the 2 to 3 years. What is this strategic plan guiding us towards? And so it might be a single sentence, it might be a couple of dot points. The way that you express the ambition is really up to you, but it's really the kind of what's this plan about? What's this strategy really getting us? What's our hope that at the end of 3 years we've achieved? And we'll know the strategy was successful. Everything we've mapped in this document was successful. That's what goes in the ambition. I hope you're still with me. Are you with me still? Hope so. Right. The next two sections are, well, actually the next three sections, because this goes on to a second page, which you'll see. So we've got actions at 6 months, and we've got actions at strategies at 2 years, and strategic pillars. We're going to focus on the strategic pillars first and then the strategies. So the strategic pillars are, you can see we've got 5 key areas mapped there. You might have 3, you might have 6. I wouldn't recommend any more than 6. It makes it too difficult on this particular template, and B, it just starts to become unwieldy in terms of a management. But the 5 strategic pillars, or somewhere between 2 and 5 strategic pillars, are what are your focus areas? What are the key drivers in your enterprise, in your business, in your life that you're wanting to bring attention and focus to for implementation? Now, they need to be related to the ambition, the vision, and the mission. And we need to be able to pull them apart to identify key and specific strategies. So strategic pillars might be things like sales and marketing. You might be going through a growth phase and needing to really prioritize recruitment. So it might be recruitment. It could be gross margin that you're focusing on. It might be, branding and awareness, like maybe collateral building is something that you're aware. It might be public relations and promotions. It could be KPIs. It could be performance. It might be financial pillar specifically. We're trying to get our, profitability up or our cost per unit down. So it's up to you what those strategic pillars are, but they're typically the drivers in the business where you're wanting to bring your attention to most closely. You may be at a succession and a legacy phase, and so you're wanting to really refine and hone in on exit, building systems, for example, to exit. But succession and legacy would be your strategic pillar, and then the strategies are peeled out. So once you've got your 5 strategic pillars in place, then we start to pull out the strategies that you're going to use in order to achieve those strategic pillars. Now, there's 2 ways of actually specifying the way the strategic pillars are expressed. One is that they might be just something like sales and marketing. That's very broad, very general. The other way to express it is the specific outcome that you're looking from the achievement of that strategic pillar. So instead of sales and marketing, it might be, lead conversion of 20%, profit margin, or like lead conversion of 20%, 100 new leads a day. That might be what your ambition for that strategic pillar is. That's your outcome from your sales and marketing. You can do both. You can choose one or the other. It is good to have it there, have the specific identifiable metrics or the outcomes. Makes sense to have them in this document somewhere. That's a good place to have them. Then you go to strategies. So this may be that you're picking 1 or 2 or 3 key strategies over the next 2 years. You can change that time frame as well. You might make it 1 year. The second page is 6 monthly focus. That's what we've got at the moment. But again, that might be quarterly. You might review this quarterly and you want to have your quarterly goals in there. And your strategies are there for only a year, not 2 years. Again, it's up to you. You can change this. This is totally in your capacity to make the changes that work for you. I would recommend picking Know Them More. If you're doing 1 year, maybe 3 strategies, 2 years, you might go to 5. But the more that you get, the more complex it becomes, the less likely, because you also got to remember you've got between 2 and 5 or 2 and 6 strategic pillars to focus on as well. That's a lot of strategies once you start getting more than 2 or 3 in each of those areas. So what are your key strategies for the achievement of that strategic pillar? Identify them. Again, this is high level. So this isn't going to be the full project plan, identifying timeframes and, key persons responsible and budgets and those sorts of things. Those you would do in a project plan or an implementation plan. But for now, we're just getting the strategies down. You can peel that information out in the future. So once we've got the 12 months or 2 years, then we peel out what are the key actions for the ensuing time frame. So it could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 3 months. If you're going quarter by quarter, might be 90 days. What are the key actions that are going to help you achieve that strategy? That's what we're really drilling down to and focusing in on, and then using this document to come back to as we're checking in on performance and on achievement as well. So we've got the vision, then we've so we've got the vision and our ambition sandwiched together. Then we've got the vision, mission, ambition. In the middle of that, we've then got our strategies and our actions. Now we go to the other side of the hamburger or the sandwich of this strategy document, where we start to look at some different areas. Again, this is stuff that we just want at a glance, that if you gave this document to someone, they would know your business. They would be able to know your business really well and really, really quickly. Who are your key audiences? So again, we've got 5 there. You may have 2, so just get rid of some of the boxes. Wouldn't recommend having many more than 5. But who are the key audiences that you are collaborating or partnering with? That can be, and I would recommend high degrees of specificity here. Women aged 40 to 45, career-oriented, rurally based, for example. That would be one key audience. So good degrees of specificity, very helpful here. Your values. Hopefully, as an organization or a business or an individual enterprise, you have your values, your core values. And I have got a document that identifies the key values, probably some training about that as well by now. So if you want help on that, email me at hello@rebelblack.com and we'll send it through. But your values are really important. To have them there at a glance is also really important. Next is value exchange. So value exchange is what is your ideal audience who's filtering through into your business, through your values, through your vision and your mission, your ambitions. What's the exchange for them? Now, this might be there's financial, exchange for them and exchange for you as a business. So this could be, this might be where you put your financial performance. It might be where you look at your succession and legacy and exit. It might be where you look at particular audiences and the change or growth that you're seeing there. If you're doing advocacy work, for example, the impact that you're having on the vision type work. This is really like the answer, what's in it for me, for the business through the lens of the ideal customer as well. What's the exchange? What is it that we are looking for as an enterprise? Then we look to positioning. So this is just positioning statements. So how are we positioning ourselves in the world? And what are the statements or value expressions or words that would go into the market that would have them know, oh, that's that business. So, for example, Nike Just Do It would be a positioning statement. They may have some other positioning statements around the achievement of excellence and high performance and accessibility that they would also put in there, for example. So the positioning, again, just it might be a few words, it might be a few key statements. And then the final thing is the questions we ask. Now, this is an internal thing and an external thing. It helps the ideal customer understand you, but it also holds a degree of accountability to you as an enterprise in the questions that you're asking internally. And I would say this relates to positioning in a very big way because it's what defines you. We are defined by the types of questions we ask and the answers that we have to those questions. So what are the big questions that your company, your enterprise, your business, regardless of its size or scale, is asking in the world and therefore also asking of itself? This might be, can we do better? What would it take? Why? That can be very simple. This is not a trick question. It's not a trick element. It's a very important component for accountability, for us to retain integrity in what we're doing, and to also help position us in the outside world through the questions that we're asking. Can help you build your content. It's a very powerful tool. So I highly recommend, really asking what are the top sort of 3, maybe 3 to 5 questions that you're asking of yourselves and others. So that is the 2-page strategy in a nutshell. There are some elements there that we will have other trainings on that you'll be able to go more deeply into, but that is it in a crux. I am going to do another case study video on the clients that have used this tool and the ways that we've used it with them and some different examples. So keep your eyes out for that. And if you can't find it, email hello@rebelblack.com and we'll send it through to you. I hope this is helpful for you, and may you bloom where you are and stay wild.